volunteer or draftee. They responded. Race, color, religion did not matter. It was not what the makeup of these veterans were, but what they were made of. In the words of William Pitt, spoken in 1777, he was asking England to cease war against the colonies. What he said then holds true today. In speaking to Parliament, he said, "You cannot conquer America." That statement holds true today. The reason? Because of Americans like those named on that wall. Like Americans from the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, II, the Gulf War, Iraq and Afghanistan. Like those brave Americans, the veterans of Vietnam answered the call just like the people before them and like the people after them. Ladies and gentlemen, what they did was what all good Americans do. They placed God and country over themselves. To the 58,000 plus names on the Vietnam Wall, to their families and friends, and to all veterans, I relish in the thought that I am in an elite group, a veteran of the United States military, a band of brothers and sisters. Every time I look at that granite wall, I get very emotional. I want to say something. I want to actually speak to that wall. It reminds me of a quote made by a gentleman by the name of John Ingersoll in 1879, who spoke at his brother's grave in Washington, D.C., 3 years after his brother had died. He was standing with friends and family looking at his brother's grave. He didn't know what to do. He wanted to say something. So finally he uttered these words: "We cry aloud, but the only answer is the echo of our own voice." Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to an old veteran bare his soul tonight. Always remember our veterans, for without them we would not sit here on this beautiful night. Enjoy the freedoms that we share. Please keep our troops in Iraq and Afghanistan in your prayers. Good night, and be grateful that you live in the greatest country in the world. Semper Fidelis, God bless America. Thank you.
All right, Garrett. Yeah.